Now, here's what I'd like to do. I want to go right into our first little exercise, and this is something you do, each of us can do on our own. Do you all have pen and paper? I see most of you, but some of you don't. Those who don't, could you borrow a piece of paper from someone? And if there are not enough pens to go around, see if you can manage this. Okay. This little exercise is called Lifeline. Lifeline. And what we're going to do is, to start out, we don't need too much artistic ability for this. If you can draw a more or less straight line from the left side of your piece of paper, and I would suggest you get your paper horizontally, from the far left of the paper, in the middle, from up to down, in the middle, straight across to the far right. And then you can put a dot on either end of that line. So I can keep it there. Okay, at the far left dot, you can label that dot with your birth date. If anyone doesn't know your birth date, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Generally, that's a date you all know. A lot of people don't know their birth date. Okay. Now, we're going to be generous. We're going to be very, shall we say, Vedic in a sense. We're going to grant you, just for the sake of this little exercise, a lifetime of 100 years. Nice, huh? 100 years, that's standard. That's what it should be, especially for brahmacharis, huh? So, at the far right, you can label that point 100 years later, after your birthday. Okay? Add 100 to whatever it was. Let's do it
Not a hope.
All right? All right, now we need to use a little bit of sort of guesswork in terms of proportion. And this will depend on your age. Try to locate a mark along this line, which would more or less indicate the day today. So, if you're 25 years old, then it would be sort of after 1/4 of the line, right? You're older, later. Okay? Put a mark there and put today, what's today's date? 21st of June 2010, according to our Western calendar. Okay, well, congratulations to all of you. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. What I'd like you to do now is to be a little bit reflective, and let's do this on our own, just for a couple of minutes. You might want to make some mark and a label for this between your birth and today's date. Think of 1, 2, maybe 3 events which you see in your life as being somehow pivotal. And I mean by that, somehow that's completely up to you. How it was pivotal. course, many devotees will say, well, it was the day I first met devotees, it was the day I took initiation, this, that. That's fine, if you like. Or there may be something else in your personal life, something happened, some, very maybe difficult situation in your life, some unexpected events, whatever. Whatever you consider to have been particularly significant. And you can just, sort of make a note, again, sort of in relation to this time frame. And don't worry, this is for yourself. We're not going to be looking at each other's timelines or something. This is all just personal. 2, 3 can be more, can be less. No hard and fast rules. Basic idea here is just to be thinking about sort of the trajectory. This word trajectory of our lives. Trajectory is like if you shoot an arrow, the path of that arrow is called the trajectory. So if you shoot it very high and steep, it's a steep trajectory. Can't think of anything that's particularly significant in your life. Maybe that's okay too. This is also something we don't need to complete now. Something we can also think about later. Are we all more or less there? We have something else. Yeah. So the next thing we want to do is a bit of imagination and a little bit of determination. And again, our theme here is Shraddha. And I'm suggesting that Shraddha is not simply, I believe in I'm Christian. It's what is the sort of direction of our lives? What are we doing with our lives? So the next thing we want to do is to the right of the mark of today is to mark down 1, 2, or 3, we can say, events or accomplishments that we would like to happen to ourselves in this lifetime before, as we say in America, before we kick the bucket. Kick the bucket. You have it in England? Yeah. Kicking the bucket. Yeah. So before you kick the bucket, what would you like to do? What would you like to accomplish? What would you like to see happen in this life? Of course, we can make this very sort of general and vague. I want to obtain Krishna prema. All right, maybe, but maybe also something a little more specific than that.